In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the autofill feature in Word or in Excel. And as you can see, I've entered a formula here to calculate the net cash flow for the month of January. And just to review, the net cash flow is the total monthly income less the total monthly expenses. So I've already entered my formula, and I've got the cell where the formula is located selected currently, and you'll see that there's a dark border around that cell. And you'll also note that in the lower right hand corner of the cell there's a little square that's separated from the rest of the border. That's called the fill handle, and when I hover my mouse button over that, the mouse pointer changes, or my mouse pointer rather, changes to a black cross. So now if I click and drag across row 33 to column N, you'll see that there is a dotted border around those cells now. And when I let go of my mouse button, you'll see that the formula has been copied into the rest of those cells. You'll also notice here that this little button showed up. This is called the autofill options button, and it just gives you some extra options when you're using the fill handle. You can copy the cells, you can copy formatting only, or you can copy without copying the formatting. We're just going to leave things as they are, and I'm going to quickly add a conditional format to these cells to highlight the months where the cash flow is negative. So I've got my cell selected. I'm going to go up to the ribbon and click on conditional formatting, and I'm going to use a highlight cells rule. I'm going to use less than, and as we know, negative numbers are less than 0, so I'm going to enter 0. And I'm going to go with the default light red fill and dark red text, so I'm just going to click OK, and those numbers that are negative are then highlighted. So the second thing I'm going to demonstrate is how to fill a series, and a series would be like the months of the year, the days of the week, the 4 quarters of the year, those kinds of things. So I want all of the months of the year down here in row 35, just like I have them up here in row 18. And I could simply copy row 18 into row 35, but I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to enter those months using your fill handle. So to begin with, I'm going to, in C35, I'm going to type JAN, and then I'm going to click the Enter button on the formula bar. So that enters January into that cell but leaves it selected. Then I'm going to click on the fill handle and drag across row 35 to column N. And you'll notice that I'm getting a screen tip showing me the months of the year as I do that. So when I get to column N, I'll let go of the mouse button, and there I have all of the months of the year entered. Next, I'm going to switch to the Home Savings Plan worksheet, and I'm going to demonstrate a different way to fill a series, or a different kind of series actually. And what we're going to do is create a little table that shows, what if I saved $500 a month? How much would I have after 12 months, after 24 months, after 36 months? So I've already filled in part of this table. And so before I start, I'm going to enter in B4 500 and in C4 600. And what I'm doing is setting up a pattern for my series. I want numbers in increments of 100 starting with 500. So once I've set up the pattern, then I select both cells, both B4 and C4, and then I'm going to use the fill handle to drag across in row 4 through column G. So I'm going from 500 to 1000 in increments of 100. So that's another way that you can set up a series using the autofill. The next thing that I want to do is fill in a formula here. And in this particular formula, you'll have to use a mixed cell reference, or mixed cell references, I should say. So I want to multiply 500 times 12, and 500 times 24, and 500 times 36. So I'm going to set up a formula somewhat like the one we used the other day in class to create the little multiplication table. So starting out with the equal sign, I'm going to multiply cell A5 by cell B4, but I want column A to remain constant. I always want this formula to refer back to column A. So I need to press my F4 key enough times to make column A absolute. And then I'm going to press the times key on the keyboard, the star, and click on cell B4. And this time I want the row to remain absolute. So I'm going to come back to the F4 key and press it enough times to make row 4 absolute. So now you see I have a $sign in front of A and a $sign in front of the 4. So I'm finished with my formula. I'm going to go up to the formula bar and click the enter key so that the cell B5 will remain selected. Then I'm going to grab the fill handle on cell B5 with my mouse, and I'm going to copy that formula across. So I first there's 2 steps to filling this formula to the rest of the cells in the table. I first need to copy it across, and then leaving no cells selected, I'm going to click on the fill handle and copy it down. And there I have my table showing what I could save at these different amounts for different lengths of time. And those are 3 ways in which you can use the autofill feature, and also a demonstration of using mixed cell references in a formula.